Yeah, it's 42 years ago. God, it seems like yesterday, but I rode a very special motorcycle around Australia. It was probably one of the best trips I've ever had, because every day is a new adventure when you're going around Australia. It's just, it's amazing. I was 20 odd, now I'm like 60 odd. Kind of always wanted one of these bikes again, and finally found the exact model, the exact colour that I had all those years ago, and I'll be restoring it. So let's have a bit of an initial look at it. I've just got it home. So I've had a bit of rain lately, and it's been so wet. So here she is. Oops. Ta-da! It's the world's most powerful motorcycle in 1978. And the winner of the Castrol 6 Hour, the original GS1000. And this one's got a neat history. It's been in a shed for like 20 odd years, and it's in really good condition generally, but it needs a fair bit of work. So I'm just going to sort of start working out what I need doing to it. But it needs obviously some rust cut out along the tank here. But overall, I'm pretty happy with its condition and its originality. So because the bike's been sitting for 20 odd years, I just want to spray it over with some WD-40, and they'll just make any sort of nuts and bolts easy to get undone. The first thing I'm going to do before I start it, or try to start it, is to go through a series of checks, and I'll take the battery out. Oh dear, spider webs, and they look like redback spider webs too. Anyway, so I'll be taking the battery out and giving it a charge, and cleaning up around the carbies as well to see what's going on there. Okay, I'll get this air filter out. Oh yeah, doesn't look too bad. And a closer inspection reveals a couple of deceased arachnids in sector A14. Ah, it's a Katana battery, so that should add about a good 15 k's on the top speed of this bike. That's good. And I'll just have a look in there. Doesn't look too bad actually. I might just top it up with a bit of acid, and yeah, just put a bit of life into it again. It's probably got some muck in the carbies because there's got a bit of rust in the tank, or it's had rust in the tank, and still needs a bit of repair there, but I'll get on to that. But initially I see it needs, you know, for restoration aesthetically, rechroming the front guard and rechroming the starter motor cover, just polishing up those shocks, and just generally sort of tidying up, sort of putting new cables on, cleaning all this sort of stuff up. And looks like it needs a new chain, a new sprocket kit. And here's the rust I was talking about in the tank. They're very thin, these tanks, these Suzuki tanks, and they tend to rust out, so I'll be sourcing a place to get that done. Anyone who knows a really good place in New South Wales that does good rust repairs on tanks, I'd be really thankful for that. And obviously it needs some new tyres, I think. They're probably still legal though. And I'll be getting rid of these clip-ons as well. I mean, I was too old for clip-ons when I was 20, let alone 60. So luckily I've got the original bars and the original clamps, so I'll be putting those on. That'll be one of the first things I do. So yeah, it's going to polish up all right. I'm just going to polish all this alloy up and repaint the side covers. Just generally go over it. Obviously it needs the seat repaired, and I'm sure I'll find other things too before I get deep into the mechanical stuff. Okay, the next step, I'm just going to be undoing the tank and taking it off and giving it a bit of a swish out just to make sure that there's no junk in there. Okay, well these are the fuel gauge lines, the wires. There's a black and white one and a yellow and black one. Just disconnect those. And the next stage will be to disconnect the fuel line. Yeah, this fuel looks sort of, I don't know, it just doesn't look fresh to me. So putting some new fuel in there will be good. You can see a few little floaty things in there. Anyway, we can soon put some fresh fuel in there. That'll be good. Okay, well I'm just going to drain the carbies off and just sort of get rid of any low-level muck. Just give it a bit of a spray out with some carby cleaner. This is not to replace a complete strip down, but this is just to sort of get rid of any sort of evil muck that might be lurking in the bottom there. Okay, well some of these little buggers were hard to get out, so I had to bring in a bit of, bring in the cavalry, bring in an impact wrench and just give a bit of a tap, and I've loosened them all, and they're all coming out. Well, looking into the tank, I can see that it's had a tank sealer treatment in it, and flipping it over, it's not too bad under there. There's a little bit of plastic filler there, but overall it's not too bad, but I'd like to get this professionally welded up. Okay, well I've just poured some juice in there, or petrol or gas or whatever you want to call the stuff, and I've just left the the 4 nuts, or the 4 little bolts, that the drain plug bolts out, and just to let it flush all that carb cleaner and stuff through. So now I'll just put those bolts back. Okay, well the moment of truth. Chuck a bit of choke on. I know they like a bit of choke to start up with. Go. Oh yeah. What a nice sound. Bubbles a bit sticky. Gonna warm up a bit. Okay, well all that smoke you can see pouring off it, that's just from the WD-40 that I put on there. So that's just burning off. But it's a nice sounding motor, this one. Having had one before, I know what they sound like. And very quiet. I mean, they've got these megaphones on there. I mean, they're gonna go. But what a beautiful machine. So happy that it's just going so well at this stage. Haven't done anything to the car except give them a bit of that initial clean-up. Very happy. So I'll just warm it up, and I'll drop the oil out of it. Just want to give a big shout out. We're talking about Andy's motorcycle obsession. Anyway, have a look if you're interested. Not a lot of stuff on GS1000s, so I've just bought this old one. I'll go into it a bit more, but good work, Andy. Thanks for your brilliant series.